Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second to make sure all my streams are going good. Okay, there's some breaking news. They broke this right before the weekend. I find that interesting. U.S. prepares for coronavirus pandemic, school and business closures, health officials. And this comes from Reuters. I don't know if they've got their right up there. Reuters. Okay, let me go back down and I'll read the article to you. U.S. health officials on Friday said they were preparing for the possibility of the spread of the new coronavirus through U.S. communities that would force closures of schools and businesses. We're talking about lockdown, folks, and the whole world is going into lockdown, it's looking like. Right, I'll show you the stories here in just a minute. Iran, South Korea, China, and Italy, 10 cities in Italy have just gone under lockdown. We're talking approaching 1 billion people under lockdown. The United States is yet to see community spread of the virus that emerged in central China in late December, but health authorities are preparing medical personnel for the risk. An official with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention told reporters on a conference call. In coming weeks, if the virus begins to spread through U.S. communities, health authorities want to be ready to adopt school and business closures like those undertaken in Asian countries to contain the disease. We're not seeing community spread here in the United States yet, but it's very possible, even likely, that it may eventually happen. Our goal continues to be to slow the introduction of the virus into the U.S. This buys us more time to prepare communities for more cases and possible sustained spread. The CDC is taking steps to ensure frontline U.S. healthcare workers have supplies they need, she added, by working with businesses, hospitals, pharmacies, and provisions, manufacturers, distributors on what they can do to get ready. The World Health Organization has warned that the window of opportunity to contain the international spread of the epidemic that has killed more than 2,200 people was closing, as the virus has spread to some 26 countries, with a large cluster in South Korea and recent outbreaks in Iran, Lebanon, and Italy. And like I told you, 10 cities today went under lockdown quarantine in Italy. If we do well, we can avert any serious crisis, but if we squander the opportunity, then we will have a serious problem on our hands, Hu Chief said in Geneva. The United States currently has 13 cases of people diagnosed with the virus within the country and 21 cases among Americans repatriated on evacuation flights from Wuhan, China, and from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, CDC said. 320, let me see if I want to go through all that. No, I just want to get the Good stuff for you. CDC is handling the bulk of testing for the coronavirus as it works out issues with test kits sent to states. Only 3 U.S. states currently have the capacity to run tests from the virus locally. The Association of Public Health Laboratories told Reuters on Friday. Okay, I want to give my take on what's going on here, folks. At this point, since it's not a pandemic yet, at this point, this isn't about the virus. This is about taking away people's rights. Almost 1 billion people lose their rights. This is about lockdown quarantines. Now, if it gets worse and becomes a pandemic, I 100% absolutely believe that this is intentional. You can choose to believe me or not believe me, but I can tell you I've been researching this stuff for 30 plus years, and 30 years ago, me and some other people were saying that that's how they're going to do a takeover. They're going to do a takeover under the guise of a humanitarian effort. And you can watch on my website where George W. Bush, when he was president, was on CNN and said, if we have a bird flu virus, do we not then quarantine parts of America? We're talking like the whole West Coast. And here we are, folks, 30 years later, U.S. prepares for coronavirus pandemic. Now, real quickly, I'll take you to what the stories I just broke on my website so you can see them. My website is thefutureofnews.info. Iran on lockdown. Coronavirus prompts North Korean trade and travel lockdown. U.S. prepares for coronavirus pandemic, school and business closures. That's called a lockdown. 10 Italian towns in lockdown over the coronavirus fears. That's from today. And let me see what else, anything else I need to tell you. You can find, I've got in-depth coverage on my website showing all the mistakes that were made. They waited months. They knew about this virus months before it happened. That's why I think this is deliberate. And then on top of that, there's a cover-up. They're not telling the people what's going on in reality. And then what do? They put infected people on planes and fly them all over the world. That's the second indication to me that this is deliberate and it's about control of the masses. Once again, you can choose to believe what I'm saying is true or not. It's up to you. But I'm just telling you what my in-depth research over the years tells me. Let me think. The only thing you can really do at this point, things are so out of hand, is just get the word to people who don't know what's going on. The more people that are educated, the better our chances against this new world disorder. Thank you.